Live from Dallas-Fort Worth, this is WFAA News.
A sunny day this Christmas Eve, but don't let it fool you. Bitterly cold out there. Temps still well below freezing as we come on the air this midday. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kara Sula. Arctic blast has taken hold, and today is expected to be the coldest day during the front. Let's get over to meteorologist Mario Ruiz. You know, Mario, we were talking yesterday about the winds and how that wind chill played such a big role. We've received messages about power outages. I know there was a gentleman in Waxahachie who messaged us during daybreak saying, you know, we're having to start a fire in our fireplace waiting on the power to be restored.
Absolutely. And, you know, Ariel covered it this morning about the power grid. It's holding up, but the power outages likely due to the high winds that we had. I mean, yesterday we had wind gusts that were 45 miles per hour, and not just brief, they were pretty consistent throughout the day. And then even today we've had 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts, and that's what's causing the low wind chill as well. I want to go ahead and show you some of the low temperatures we experienced this morning. This is the coldest air that we have felt since February of 2021. And this morning we recorded 11 degrees at DFW Airport. About 10 degrees at Alliance, Fort Worth, 10 in Denton, 12 at Pilot Point, 11 for Richardson, Dallas, 10 in Mesquite, and in Rockwall. We still have that wind chill advisory, and it's going to be in place until noon. This is because of those wind chills that just remain low. In fact, at DFW right now, even with that sunshine, we're only at 20 degrees, but it still feels like 7 degrees because of that wind. Out of the north, anywhere between 10 to 15 miles per hour consistently, but gusting a bit higher than that. 19 degrees right now in Denton, 17 for Frisco, McKinney, and in Plato, as well as in Rockwall. 18 degrees right now in Mesquite, about 20 in Weatherford, 18 in Fort Worth, 19 in Alliance, 17 in Benbrook, Arlington, 19 degrees. So still not making it quite to that 20-degree mark yet. But because of that wind, like I mentioned, we are dealing with some very low wind chills. It feels like -5 in Rome, -3 in Springtown, about 5 in Fort Worth. It feels like 8 degrees in Grand Prairie and 6 in Arlington, 4 in DeSoto, Mesquite, and in Rockwall. About 3 is the wind chill in McKinney. Throughout the rest of the day, the temperature does climb. I think a lot of us in the Metroplex make it to about 18 to 20 degrees. At noon, 24 degrees around 4, but because of that wind, look at the wind chill. This is what that blue number is showing you here. 12 degrees is what it'll feel like. So even though our temperatures make it to the 20s, it'll still feel like the teens and the single digits for a lot of us. A few of the high temperatures around the area, low 20s for the majority of North Texas. We'll talk a little bit more about when we dig out of the freeze coming up in a few moments, Kara.
All right, thanks, Marielle. So taking a live look right now at DFW International Airport, where they're ready to de-ice as needed. So far, not a lot of cancellations there, just less than 100, but they are facing the domino effect from a lot of flights delayed or canceled at their origin. Sadeghi tells us more.
DFW Airport was expecting today to be their busiest holiday travel day of this week. 217,000 people expected to pass through these security gates, and hopefully they're heading somewhere warm because this winter storm that gripped much of the Northeast causing issues all across the country. Take a look at some of these scenes from around the northern part of the U.S. You can see that the snow, the ice piling up on the roadways, causing highways to be shut down, slipping and sliding from drivers. Wrecks leaving some drivers stranded. Meanwhile, at the airports, there were more than 2,600 cancellations nationwide on Thursday, and as Friday began, there were already more than 3,000 canceled flights nationwide, with that number expected to grow. Now, relatively speaking, not as many issues or cancellations here at our local airports, DFW and Love Field, although there were a lot of delayed flights, and you're looking at the reason why. This video from Thursday shows the planes on the runway having to pause to get de-iced. According to FlightAware, more than 50% of the flights out of DFW experienced some kind of delay on Thursday. We'll see if operations are any smoother today. It was a similar story at Love Field, where around 30% of their flights were delayed Thursday, leaving passengers playing a very miserable waiting game.
Getting to Phoenix, I was delayed around an hour and a half, 2 hours. That was horrible. That was misery at its finest. And then getting here, we actually got delayed on the runway for about an hour.
DFW trying to help passengers out where they can. They announced that their shuttle system with the terminals and the shuttles out to the parking lots will pause a little bit longer than they normally do while they're picking up passengers. The reason why? Passengers will be able to stay in the airport rather than have to wait out at the curb in the cold. That way when they see their bus pull up, they can go out there and catch it with a little bit of extra time to spare. I'm Sadeghi, now back to you.